Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video. I'm going to turn the light off, so I think the glare is kind of messing up our swag right now, so I'm going to turn off the light. Let's see. Yep, now we can see it better. All right. So this is another video on finding the volume of three-dimensional shapes. As you notice, I do have a shape drawn here very, very small with the length, width, and height. There is a reason for that. There is a reason that that shape is so small. It's because I don't want you to focus on the shape. I do not want you to focus on the shape when we do this video. I want you to focus on the multiplication. To find the volume of any shape requires multiplication. It requires multiplying the length times the width times the height. Now, if you see these three different numbers that you need to multiply, it looks scary. So we're just going to focus on the first two numbers. Let's just focus on the length and the width to start. 9 times 4 times 5 will find me the volume of this shape, but we're just going to focus on 9 times 4. Now, the quickest way to figure out 9 times 4 is to count by 9s, to skip count. Now, in my previous video on volume, I showed you how you can go about solving multiplication problems using pictures. So you know that, I'm sure all of you know, if you wanted to count making 4 rows of 9x's with 9x's in each row and count the total number of x's, you can find the answer that way, but we're going to do it the quick way. I'm going to put these cool shades on, and I'm going to count by 9s. You ready? Here we go. I'm going to count by 9 4 times. And I'm going to figure out what 9 times 4 is. 9, 18, 27, 36. I'm going to say that again. 36. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 4 equals 36. So now, I'm going to replace the 9 times 4 with the number 36, since we know that's what 9 times 4 equals. 36 times 5. Now, we could add up 36 5 times, because 36 times 5 means that we're adding the number 36 5 times. We're adding 36 plus 36 plus 36 plus 36 plus 36. That's all true, but there is a faster way. If we wanted to do with the long row, 36 plus 36 plus 36, we could add 36 5 times and find our answer. And I did that in the previous video. I added the two-digit number 5 times. But there is a much quicker way, and that's what I'm going to go over. To figure out 36.5, all we got to do is figure out what 30 times 5 is and 6 times 5 is and add our answers. 30 times 5, to figure out 30 times 5, you just multiply 3 times 5 and then add a 0 to your answer. So 3 times 5 is 15. If we add a 0 to the number 15, we get 150. 6 times 5 equals 30. 150 plus 30 equals 180. So the volume of this shape right here, 9 times 5 times 4 equals 180. I didn't put what the unit is, but I like centimeters. Let's just say it's centimeters. 180 centimeters cubed. All right, I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do another one. All right, so let's say the height is 10, I mean, let's say the length is 10, the width is 4, and the height is 8. Obviously, this figure isn't drawn to scale. It would look different if those were the true measurements, but for this next shape, to find the volume of this next shape, we got to multiply 10 times 8 times 4. That one will actually be a little bit easier, but you can start with 8 times 4. You can start with 10 times 8. Doesn't really matter. I always like to start with the first two numbers. So 10 times 8 equals. If you don't know this in your head, what you can do is draw 8 rows of 10 x's and count the total number of x's. That will take very, very long, though. Quicker way to do it, if you don't instantly know the answer to this multiplication problem in your head, is to skip count. So I'm going to count by the number 10. I'm going to count by 10s 8 times. See what I come up with. And I'm going to put the shades back on and do it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. The answer is 80. 10 times 8 equals 80. So the 80 is going to replace the 10 times 8 over here. Now we have 80 times 4. All right, so to figure out what 80 times 4 is, pretty simple. All you got to do is multiply 8 times 4 and add a 0 to your answer. So 8 times 4, let me count by 8s to figure out what 8 times 4 is, and then I'm going to add a 0 to my answer, and we'll have our answer. 8, 16, 24, 32. 8 times 4 is 32. And since we're multiplying 80 times 4, what we're going to do is we're just going to add a 0 to our answer. If we add a 0 to our 32, we have 320. And 320 centimeters cubed is the volume. Now, if you're not fluent in the art of skip counting, I do have a previous video. I have another video that involves drawing pictures to solve the multiplication problem and repeated addition. I do have another video, my previous video, the first video in the October Lives playlist, shows how to solve for volume using repeated addition and using pictures to solve the multiplication involved. But as I've said before, the better you know your multiplication facts, the easier it is. If you can skip count by all numbers 1 through 10, it makes these other concepts in math a lot easier. So I definitely encourage you to really work on your multiplication, build that multiplication fluency. If you go into my Multiplication Lives playlist, I have all the fact families. So I definitely encourage you to watch those videos and really build up your multiplication fluency, because it shows up in so many other arenas, so many other areas of math. Multiplication shows up. It's just a foundational skill that a lot of different math concepts build off of. So I encourage you to look at my Multiplication Live videos. Please tell me if this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you're still confused, if this was helpful, if this wasn't helpful. Put it in the comments. I'll definitely read them, and if possible, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for tuning in.